Welcome everyone to Awesome Truth, a wrestling book club. I'm your host, Steve Semino, and with me as always is my co-host, Walt Trank. Hey, Walters.
Hello, Steven. How's it going?
My friend, it is going very well. We are back on Awesome Truth, and today, Walt, we are deviating a tad from the original plan. We had said it was time to talk about my boy Terry and his Netflix documentary series, but we are pivoting slightly because I'm not caught up yet. I'm still in the process, and we want to get it right. We want to do all four parts of Terry, despite your mild objections, right? That maybe we can just skip it. I think it's important that we press on and do this stupid thing.
You wanted to give this series its full, undivided
He's
attention.
my boy, so I
I
feel like it would be disrespectful if I didn't, sit down and consume all four parts.
have to respect your wish for this because he's your dead friend. So
So he's my dead friend because he's dead. But yeah, so we're gonna do that soon. That's next up for sure, 100%. But in between, we're doing another Hogan match because we wanted to do more Hogan, stay on the Hogan train. And there's a great match that was staring us in the face that I can't believe we didn't talk about it before. Of course, I'm referring to Hollywood Hulk Hogan versus The Rock at WrestleMania X8. Did they called it WrestleMania X8 at the time even, right? Weirdly, they did the half Roman numerals, half regular numerals.
I think so. This was a beginning of ruthless aggression, I believe.
Sure, yeah.
So
So that's very ruthless of them
X,
to do that. Yeah, very
yeah,
aggressive of a
very
decision, but
edgy.
so actually, so we're gonna do that. It's a great match. We watched the Hogan match that was, mixed reviews and sort of infamous in a lot of ways last time, and now we're just doing a straight up objectively good Hogan match. So, are you ready, Walt?
I'm ready.
Yeah, we're starting. It's from the 50 greatest Mania matches, which we talked about before in our archives, awesometruth.libsyn.com. So go to YouTube, find this one, and we're going to do the full match starting with the initial little preamble they have. So we're going to start at Mania, okay? Well,
Oh boy.
We're going to start at the in
Mania.
Mania.
Wow. Okay.
3, 2, 1, Mania.
Yep.
Okay. 3, 2, 1, Mania.
Little
Okay.
jingle.
Yep. Linda McMahon's theme, you mean? Presented by Sinners, movie that came out a year and a half ago.
Wow. Wow. Timestamps this doesn't.
That's right. All right, and here comes Hulk, which is so funny to me that he was. So was the NWO still? Because Hall has a match on this show too, right?
Yeah. I mean, this is the when they brought them back.
So
This is
very
like
soon
a
after, so Vince very recently did his whole "I'm bringing a cancer back" to the company, and they're the NWO.
yeah. This I think that was like February, right after the Royal Rumble that
Okay,
year, and then so this bill was like effectively
and they had
this.
not Hogan, Nash, and Hall had just straight up not been back at that point yet. Like they were coming back in full.
Yeah. I mean, everybody had to like everybody had their WCW contracts that still uh, existed, and nobody wanted to just like take the free money that Turner and AOL and Time Warner was giving them and just walk away from it just to wrestle
Yeah, and
more.
hurt themselves. Yeah, why not take more or the same money at worst to do nothing at home?
Famously, there was like four people who opted to continue wrestling instead of just taking the free money, and I don't remember who they are at this point.
Yeah,
So I
scrubs
think,
though, or like fools.
yeah, and at that point too, even in late WCW, Hogan wasn't working because of the
Yeah,
whole why is his name Vince Russo
Russo. There was all the
debacle.
bullshit going on then. It was just total chaos.
Yeah, so he was this is like the first match he had in
Okay,
many
that
years
was
at
my
that point.
next follow-up question, which made sense. Yeah, this is Hogan's literal return match in for like a decade plus.
Yeah.
No, not a decade, but close.
Well, 16 was 2000. So this is like 2 years, maybe a little less than 2 years. So it wasn't like a year, like 10 years,
Oh
but
wait, was he? Wait, he was at 16.
well, no, but he was at WCW in 2000.
Oh yeah, yeah. But I mean, but his first time back in WWE since the Yokozuna match, right?
Oh, oh, I see what you're saying. Yes, it
Yeah,
was
since '94 or
like
whatever,
8 or 9 years.
'93.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so that's pretty crazy.
King of the Ring 93 was
Yeah, of
his last
course, that
WWE.
famous
Yeah.
showdown.
Yes.
Hulk looking
Luckily,
very tan, very bulky still. Not bad. Old, but not deathly old,
Yeah.
obviously.
He's on his Mania roids, probably.
Yeah, of course. Oh, I'm sure. Just came in no time for a drug test. I just got back, you know? Just let me have my match.
Part timer, brother. Don't have to.
And
piss
we love balding Rock, don't we?
Yeah.
We love Rock
Receding
clinging
hairline
to
Rock.
those scraps of hair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just so been
Wow.
bald for so long. It's so funny to see him with this sort of look. And he looks fine. He doesn't look bad at all, but
Yeah, looks fine.
yeah.
He just looks like such Elvis Rock. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like in my head, it's like Elvis Rock, and then there's just like
Also,
Latter
so
Day.
weird to see him coming out to really no fanfare whatsoever, you know?
Well, yeah,
Doing a purely like I'm a guy on the wrestling show entrance, like I'm here every week, and he was, but like it's just funny to see it without any sort of pyro or bullshit or anything. He just walks to the ring.
It's crazy to see WrestleMania entrances without the pomp and
Yeah, that's
circumstance,
true.
though.
Hogan's was, yeah, like but he had the camera, the special effects sort of in the what's it called?
True, the entrance.
Yeah, he like had some stuff
presentation.
going on. Yeah, but
Well, I
yeah,
mean, that's for the at-home audience. But the people there, he was just.
they just saw Hulk Hogan in his big boa. Yeah, so
Yeah.
you're right. It is very weird because this was, 18. I don't think of it as it was very long ago now, but I don't think of it as like 10. Like which was super quaint by comparison. But yeah, I guess at 18 that just wasn't really a thing yet. Like they're getting this is crazy how they're getting right into it. We're 4 minutes into this video and we are at the bell, which is wild.
Yeah, I mean, there would be at least 20 more minutes
Yeah.
of entrance.
That's why
It just happened tomorrow.
when we talked about the strategy, I didn't realize we had this much match to watch. This is nice.
Yeah, right. Well, we'll see how quote unquote nice it is.
So catch me up. So we watched this together live, right, at our friend Brian Toll's house. Is that correct?
Wow, that's a good pull. I
believe
could
that
not
is
place
correct.
myself.
That's in my memory. I definitely was not watching at this point, really, at all. So I remember it being a bit of an outlier. But I remember this also being a huge match and like a big show with all the stuff that was going on. So it's logical that, like, put aside like casual disinterest to turn this one on.
Yeah.
But also, I guess why have we been
definitely-
home? I don't remember. I swear we watched it together, but I wouldn't put a gun to my head. I wouldn't bet on that. But I
No,
swear.
I definitely watched this live.
Okay, maybe we were just home for whatever reason. What year was this in like real time?
2002.
Okay, so we were home. We were still in high school, so that makes sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, we definitely watched this together then. Okay, I'm probably right. Ooh, see this one? We talked about this last time while I'm on the Wikipedia page. We talked about Icon versus what was the Michaels Hogan debate?
Icon versus Legend.
Yes. Well, do you see the poster for this one?
I don't see the poster.
It's just Icon versus Icon.
Oh, so the Rock is an
they-
icon and a legend.
No,
Wait,
it's
but then
amazing.
Hogan's an icon.
They're both icons.
But he's a legend in 2005.
That's true, but I guess he's an icon. So maybe he's upgraded to legend in 3 years.
Yeah.
Or so early to call. You would think Rock was maybe a legend at this point, but I guess Rock was younger than Michael, so maybe they're both. It is funny to call Rock an icon already when he's just a guy on the show, but
Yeah, I think we understood the context of what this match meant, even at the time. It's not like we look back on this and like, oh my God, these are two of the biggest stars ever fighting. This was
yeah,
like such a crazy circumstance. It was like at the time they realized like this was going to be a pretty big deal in the history of wrestling, and it was. So
this has probably been discussed to death on various podcasts, and I don't recall. And I bet it. I think in my memory, I have a loose memory of it pissing Austin off. But it is interesting that Rock is chosen above Austin to face Hogan, right?
yeah, I mean, I'm
Is that
sure
just
that's,
because Rock is just healthier, younger, better suited for the match, or?
I think it's just politics. I mean, like I don't think.
This is
well,
obviously
also-
after all. Austin's peak is not gone necessarily, but he has peaked already.
I wouldn't be surprised if it was more of a relationship thing because The Rock, I mean, if you believe Young Rock, which
We all
Or-
do.
or various other documentaries, but like it seems like they had a relationship in the 70s when he was growing up,
Yeah.
and Hogan was just like a journeyman like wrestler and had a pit stop in Hawaii. Like it seems like they were kind of knew about each other. And I think famously too that Stone Cold, like and Hogan, like were never going to be put in the same ring together
because Austin was had encountered him in WCW obviously and at various points, and I think he was not treated very well, and
right.
obviously and famously gave all the ECW promos and stuff where he was explicitly giving Hogan shit. So
yeah, exactly. So I think that's what stopped that from happening. Not necessarily The Rock was bigger. I think it just made more sense.
I also think, somewhat anecdotally, but based on stories and such, that 2002 Rock was chiller than 2002 Austin, I think 2002 Austin was in a mood, as he was near the tail end of his, active career. Whereas I think this is before Rock sort of became incredible politicking, egotistical Rock of now.
I'm going to believe you when you say that, but...
Rock at the very least wasn't the super-duper star of all super-duper stars, he was just a very extremely popular wrestler on the show. Maybe doing Scorpion King after this, I believe, sometime, but, but certainly was nowhere near what he'd become. So I just imagine he was probably a lot easier to deal with at that point.
You also are a few months removed from Austin, quote-unquote, taking his ball home and taking his ball and going home or whatever the hell the...
So all that makes sense. I feel like all that added up, plus some shit we don't know.
Oh.
Yeah.
Hogan taking his powder, but couldn't get over the top because limited mobility. Yeah.
I will say this is obviously the least insightful observation, but this crowd is extremely hot.
Yeah, right.
They're having so much fun with this.
That's an understatement.
Which is great. It's just... I feel like this, for all what we talked about, and for all the excitement to see these two in the ring, I feel like there was, it wasn't thrown together, but like you said, NWO didn't come until February. I knew it was a later sort of thing. For this to come together relatively quickly and not be, overdone to death with all the build-up. And then it seemed like the kind of thing where just, once they got in the ring, it just went from there. It just went from 0 to a million so fast,
I will say they did a good job at the build, not necessarily because of the whole Hogan borrowing a Mack truck and slamming into the Rock's ambulance to get him off TV for a while. But the fact is, if this was today, they would have had 20 segments leading up to it.
Yeah.
Whereas this was they had the segment to set up the match. Then they had the segment then later in the show, the Rock gets destroyed with the ambulance.
Oh, so that was really it. It was that simple then.
Yeah. And then I don't think they saw each other again until this match. So
wow. Was there a reason for that? Did Rock have to go do something, or did that just the way they did it?
Great question.
Okay, I didn't know if you had the exact access to that information. I'm
sure if Pritchard was here, he would tell us.
I'm sure it's readily available. As usual, we didn't do that much homework. It's a lot of I remember this, or I heard this, or I read that. So. I do
remember Hogan. He's about to slam his Mack truck into the ambulance, going, "I'm going to lay this smack down on his cripple ass," which I always thought was so ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
Extreme.
Okay, Hulk, sure. That is an intense thing to say for a bad guy.
Yeah. Oh boy, that was a bit of
also very quaint, Just the idea, it makes perfect sense in the moment, but the fans, loving Hogan so much is just so interesting, They hadn't seen him, and I get why they were so interested in it, why they wanted him so badly to cheer for him, like it was the good old days. And I think Toronto is traditionally a really good crowd anyway, right?
Yeah, totally. I mean, they were just thirsty for. Yeah. Whoa, back suplex.
Hey, Hogan expanding his repertoire.
Yeah, we're pulling out all the stops here.
This is definitely considered one of his top 3 matches ever, 2 even maybe.
I mean, what's bigger than this?
The only one I think of that people like is and maybe not bigger, but Savage Hogan from 5 maybe.
I think there are more eyeballs on this one.
Yeah, I agree with that. But I think Hogan did seem to get his working boots on for Savage, what I remember.
Yeah, I'm not trying to take away from that match.
But I think those are really the only 2 that are I'm speaking in terms of just largeness and also Hogan giving a shit and trying and doing stuff.
I also feel like this is such a time and a place where it's WrestleMania 18.
Look at that. That was.
Whoa, schoolboy.
Yeah. Just doing slightly different things than normal.
After 18 of these WrestleManias, though, there was a sense of history. And I feel like this is the first byproduct of there being a sense of this is going to be an iconic WrestleMania historic match that we're putting on that it is never going to be seen again, or just we'll never hit this kind of build. We're Savage and Hogan. It's WrestleMania 5. There is no history at that point. It's like 5 years of this. Like it could have gone away, and we're never talking about it again.
Yeah, for sure. It was obviously it was a very extremely well done build and storyline, but yeah, you're very right. Like this is, and like we were saying, it's just ironic that this is Mania before it became the gargantuan monster it is now.
Yeah.
But 18 years is plenty of time to develop history, and Hogan obviously being the most important wrestler in the company ever at this point for sure. Like having him come back, with a pretty good distance from his last Mania appearance. Like, yeah, the stars are aligning to really make it something that matters.
Right. I mean, in the time of his last WrestleMania match, a rival company almost took them on chokeslam.
Yeah, what is he? Kind of chokeslam.
Oh,
I don't really know what that was, but it was I kind of like it because it was just very like instinctual.
yeah. The weakest chokes as well, but
This is just great. Like you can just tell when Terry gives a shit. You really can.
Yeah.
Like and which makes it worse the times when he doesn't, because you're just being an asshole. Like you can tell he's pretty old at this point. He's probably let's see how old he was here. So this is 2002, correct? And my boy
yes.
Terry was born in 53. So he's 50 years old basically.
Wow.
So he's an older gentleman for sure, but he still can move and have him. Like he's had many worse matches in the 10 years leading up to this.
Yeah. I
So
mean,
being like, oh, so you
WCW.
can do shit. You just don't want to do shit.
I
Okay.
mean, name a good match he had is Hollywood Hogan.
Oh, sometimes it was sometimes it was interesting when you
WCW.
like Luger. Like I feel like he had a Luger match that was okay, right? When first time he lost to Luger. Am I
But
wrong
all
about
those
that?
were predicated on yeah. I mean, he had
like BS and run-ins and stuff, right? It was all
yeah. But he never had a good match. It was
No.
always just like the spectacle of heel Hogan, new challenger, and it was always and then there was all the bullshit.
And I mean, babyface WCW Hogan probably had very few, if any, good matches too. So
I mean,
I bet you could
the
I
Triple
bet you
Page
could put them
match.
on one hand. Yeah. We've done a couple of them. We've done the gimmicky ones, but they are horrific. So
Yeah, it's so this one could argue this is the best match this guy's had since
yeah.
I don't know WrestleMania 6.
Yes, I was gonna say 6 is probably the other one people really enjoy. Yeah.
Yeah, not to
Which
say
is
that
just
was
like
good.
which is sort of understandable. Like no one was asking him to have good matches most of the time, but yeah, it is weird clothesline.
Yeah, I mean Hogan's timing is not. He's not like Bryan Danielson.
Yeah, no, of course not.
Or pretty much anyone in AEW when it comes to timing and craft.
But enthusiasm is just nice to see from my boy Terry.
Yeah.
And it makes sense. If he's ever gonna fucking care, it would be now. Ooh.
Oh, ref bump. I don't remember that.
Wow. Well, it sort of has. Once Rock goes for the chair and gets it pulled away, I mean, is that referee
Sure.
Tim White?
No, that's
that
a funny
Kyoto?
show, Mike Kyoto.
That's Kyoto. It's your friend's Kyoto again. We did that last time.
Yeah.
Kyoto got a lot of plum assignments, huh?
Well, I guess
Makes sense.
Hepburn.
Hebner was probably gone by then, or at least
Hepburn was
So Kyoto's probably lead ref, I guess.
Yeah. At
Yeah,
this
I don't
point.
like. I just like the joke. I just like saying referee Tim White. He says a great name to say referee before,
He has a pretty great rough name, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, so we've seen some variation of moves that we saw: choke slam, a back suplex,
Yeah.
spine buster,
Schoolboy.
spear, sharpshooter, abdominal stretch,
Yeah.
schoolboy, yeah. Hogan's favorite. This is this the WLS or something?
That's a pretty good sharpshooter for Rock, I feel like.
Yeah,
Rock, not always known for his immaculate sharpshooters, and Hogan's got big legs.
far better than Michael's sharpshooter from the last watch along.
Yes. Yeah, Michael's known for his bad sharpshooters, I'd say. Oh, he's
Yeah.
tapping to the sharpshooter. What?
Wow, Bret Hart must be really.
Yeah, I wonder if that is.
Upset to
Is that a
watch
fuck
that.
you to Bret? I mean, why would he tap to the
Also,
sharpshooter?
it's in Canada too, mind you.
Oh, that definitely must be some Bret shit, right?
Well, The Rock was doing the sharpshooter.
I know, but tapping to his like his tertiary finisher. That's
Sure.
not, And I guess this point he was famous for having, because they did obviously the thing at Deadly Game. Like Rock used sharpshooter for story purposes quite frequently, like you said. So,
Right.
yeah.
Oh,
And
rock
but
bottom.
I think it's definitely some Brett shit too.
Oh,
Ooh, I like the wide shot and the zoom on the.
yeah. Yeah. Everybody knew their assignment for this one.
Yep.
A lot of wides, a lot of crowd reactions.
Yeah. Terry must be like, God, I'm in the middle, obviously, as you know, Walt, of the Hogan doc, and
Mhm.
seeing, Terry express his enthusiasm for being cheered and all that shit, like, and his ego and all that, like, think how much he must have fucking loved this.
Oh, yeah.
Which, on one hand, of course, like, objectively, it's cool as hell. On the other hand, Terry was just such, like, I bet he was just insufferable for months after this.
Oh, for sure. I mean, he was. I mean,
Yeah,
he
because it's not
got.
like you're not just like, oh man, this one old guy getting one last shot and then riding off in the distance. It's like has a great night, gets cheered like, and then becomes top babyface for a while and gets this rejuvenation thing that runs its course relatively quickly, and then like is dining out on this forever to come. And again, understandably so. It's great. It's objectively very good, but just knowing what we know about Terry, it's just man, I just cannot help but think like how fucking annoying he must
Yeah.
have been. Bringing this up every 5 seconds.
It's crazy. It's crazy to think about, like in this extended, like rejuvenated run that he has here as the red and yellow after tonight.
Mm.
Uh, yeah, he goes on to team with Edge and win like a tag title with Edge. Him and like Jericho used to wrestle every like they had a loop where they were wrestling all the time, and
That's
to
so
the point where
weird.
Jericho wrote in his book, he's like, "Yeah, Hogan was actually kind of reasonable," and he was like, "Oh, brother, I had a lot of fun wrestling with you."
That's
It's
so
like
weird that he respected
I don't have
Jericho.
I have no memory of all this, by the way. Like I have no
Yeah,
memory of any
I've
of
read. I
those.
assume that was in the same book that I've read. I don't remember Jericho even talking about that or it
Yeah.
occurring in the first place.
The decibel level here is through
Oh
the
man,
roof right now. I don't think it gets any higher than
and
this.
Hulk's just hamming it up. Uh, and
I
Rock is
love
just
how
doing.
yeah,
Rock's selling on this kind of stuff is so good too.
yeah. I
We've said this
love
before. I guarantee. Rock never afraid to sell in a big match for somebody like this, like especially this
yeah.
era. Like he was just so good at it. To do the he did a little Michaels flopping stuff, but it was always just like he's so big and lanky, and it was just always so fun to watch. Like he always made it very enjoyable.
I love how Hogan always like to that point. Hogan always talks about, "Oh, brother, I had to work twice as hard to become the heel again, and everybody was cheering me." I'm like The Rock was selling like a heel too
Yeah,
throughout this, and Hogan was definitely like hamming it up. So I'm not sure
I
how
think
hard
I
he
believe don't
tried.
they say they said halfway through like, or at least like either they acknowledged beforehand or they talked about during the match like let's do the old switcheroo, like explicitly.
Well,
Like I'm working as a face, you should work more as a heel. Just like that, they didn't try and fight the crowd reaction. Is I guess more what I'm
yeah,
saying.
they
Which we've
leaned into it.
seen many people do to embarrassing extents in modern WWE. So
Yeah, that's true.
whether they knew that was coming beforehand, which probably is true, like given Hogan's return to Mania, I have to imagine they were like, this is probably gonna be Hogan being enjoyed. He didn't do it. He
Yeah.
didn't do anything heelish to anybody. And like, he's a heel on reputation only. He didn't hurt the company. He came back a month ago. And I guess he drove a car and said he wanted to cripple the Rock. Like
He
so.
also he also was like Hollywood
Oh,
Hogan, the heel. Oh, nice kick
yeah,
up.
that's great.
He he was a heel in WCW in the context of he was taking over WCW. But like
Yeah.
WWE, it's like yeah, you're just like Hulk Hogan.
That's good.
Like
Like they were like, good, take over
yeah,
WCW. Like the whole hook
yeah,
in the beginning of that was you are. Oh, I forgot that was it.
yep,
Wow. Well, that was slightly
yeah.
abrupt ending, but fair. I mean, they worked a 15-minute match. That's probably the exact amount of
And
time, right?
they both hit their finishers several
Yeah.
times. So
Yeah.
to me, not so abrupt,
I
but
guess just so used to these things being drawn out even more.
yeah. I
Like
mean,
we do.
they perfectly stayed their welcome
They did. That was fantastic.
to the point where we saw a choke slam.
Terry was certainly out of moves at that point. So
Yeah, yeah,
no, Terry should not do any more than 15-minute matches if they're like actual matches.
yeah.
Yeah, 16 minutes, 16:24 is the exact time.
When I see Hulk Hogan doing a choke slam and a back suplex in a match, it's like playing WCW versus NWO
Yeah.
World Tour, and you have to give people a move in every direction, in every permutation. But like clearly, they don't have half of those moves.
But they need to make whatever they give Hulk Hogan like some pretty generic stuff that like everybody can do, you know. So
yeah, so we saw truly the
what are the 9 minutes here?
farthest reaches of this.
Is there some bullshit after this?
Guess we'll find out.
Yeah, because we have, on our counter, we have 7 more minutes to go. So that's part of why I was also confused. I figured they would just fill that 7 minutes with stuff.
It's filled. I remember this in Brian Toll's house. Apparently,
I think I have a sense of what happens, and I guess it answers the question from before. Like, did they know this was going to happen? Because I think some dumb stuff happens, and Hulk shows his true colors, perhaps.
perhaps. I mean, right now we just have The Rock doing his signature pose at every corner.
Yeah. Oh.
Oh. It's weird seeing Hulk Hogan bigger than The Rock.
Yeah. Also reminds me how big Rock, like, even though he's not giant like now, like how Rock is so large. That's what I think of the other way. I think, wow, Rock is almost as big as Hogan. Because one thing the Hogan doc does remind me is like how fucking huge that guy was. You know, everyone was such an oaf back then, but Hulk was just gigantic.
Yeah, Hulk is quietly 6'7".
Yeah, that's the craziest part, I guess, is the height. 6'7" is so tall. Like
You'd be a power forward.
Regular human beings are not 6'7". You know, like basketball players are 6'7". Like most people you meet are. If you meet somebody who's 6'3", you're like, holy shit, you're very big.
Yeah, him and Rodman were like eye to eye or something like that.
Yeah, which is
maybe
nuts.
not Rodman, but close enough. But for comparison,
do we get more? Do we see more of Rodman in the Hogan doc in a NWO shirt at Hogan's funeral? Or is that literally one shot in the first episode? Because I noted that immediately.
They had some interesting interviews booked for this doc, but Rodman was not one of them, which is
yeah, I would have liked to have seen Rod. If he's wearing, I just enjoyed that he was like, I'm wearing an NWO shirt at the funeral, and everyone was probably like, yeah, very appropriate. You know, like it'd be weird if he wore a suit. So
yeah, come on.
I
like to think that Rodman still wears NWO shirts casually.
Oh, they're saying. Oh, they turn on him so fast.
Yeah.
He's their leader and their best friend.
But don't worry, we're a few months removed from HBK becoming the leader of NWO.
Oh my God, that's right.
A second.
Why would they? I mean, I get but this does answer. Like, obviously, they knew exactly what was going to happen, and they turned Hogan face right away. So.
Yeah, they knew what was up.
Yeah. So that thing I was saying about the mid-match thing, like maybe they discussed it lightly, but they also knew what they were going into it.
Yeah. Little do we know that Kevin Nash's quads were made out of the toothpick that Scott Hall had in his mouth.
That was also very stupid too. Like they come out and they argue with Hogan for 1 second, they attack him, and then they get beat up very quickly. Like these are supposed to be two of your newly returned like best guys in the company, you know?
Yeah.
And they're older now. Like they didn't have the juice, obviously, and I guess the world found that out pretty quickly. But like, talk about neutering them for the sake of Hogan almost immediately.
Yeah, and those two really weren't around that much longer. I mean, Scott Hall, I think, gets fired pretty shortly.
Ugh.
I think.
Bringing back the NWO, very stupid, but giving us this match is certainly, I guess, worth it in that sense. Because who cares that the NWO return flopped in 2002, you know?
Yeah, exactly. Such a footnote.
Well,
and Sinners is out.
Yep, Sinners is out in 2025. All right, I'm going to pause this one. I think we're good. So, what do you think about this match? Do you think this is good? I mean, is this one of the... I mean, obviously, 50 is fair. Is it one of the 10 best Mania matches ever? Like, does it deserve to be considered this highly?
I think so. I mean, just on the headline itself and on paper, these two having a match is pretty big. And the reception that they got was bigger than any other two wrestlers ever wrestling, potentially.
Hmm.
Uh, and so I would say, I mean, like, if the metrics are, do I remember this? Will I remember this? Oh, if after another 50 WrestleManias over other matches, the answer is yes. Like I'll remember this. In that case, it is a top 10 billing, but
Yeah,
you know,
and I mean, and the the event and the situation are so the context is so important. Like for is it a top 10 match in some other weird objective ratings that like some people would deploy?
yeah,
Probably not. But at WrestleMania, when this is such a huge deal and these guys are such a big deal and the return and just the crowd, like you said, when you combine all that together, it's hard. It's pretty undeniable because you're like it's for a show that thrives on spectacle, for a show that thrives on moments and stuff like that, like how can you not say this is among the best? Like it's such a well executed main event style match, even though it's not awkwardly not the main event. But
yeah.
it is just such a picture perfect execution of that kind of a match.
Do you remember the main event?
I want to say it was the title match. It was Jericho H.
Correct. Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
so
Just making
weird.
sure.
I mean, again, there are people out there who'd be like, well, they're respecting tradition, right? Like they're putting the title match last. Honestly, they're putting Triple H last, but it is wild to have this match go on before that.
I mean, it makes sense. It wasn't. They didn't build their entire year's worth of programming around it, but
Does
yeah, I
does
mean,
H win on that, I presume?
yeah, because he had just returned and
Is
like a
it a
few months
good
before.
match, do you remember?
I don't think so.
Okay,
I
well,
think it's regarded as a pretty big stinker, especially following this.
H has his share of Mania stinkers for sure, so that's not super surprising. But yeah, I mean, we're all worked out for everybody, I guess, in the long run. It is a fascinating footnote that, yeah, this is just a match on the card as opposed to, yeah, there was this, and then there was a women's three-way with Jazz, Trish, and Lita, and then there was the main, which only got
Ugh.
18 minutes. So I guess that's good that it didn't get 25, but still,
The main event, yeah,
yes,
it could have easily ballooned to 45, knowing who
yeah.
was involved. But
Well, Walt, it was great to watch a Terry match with you. It was great to see our boy in action many moons ago. My boy, I don't want to give you credit for him. He's my boy. And when we come back on
not my
Awesome Truth
boy.
in 2 weeks, we're going to talk about Hogan again. We're going to talk about Hulk Hogan, Real American on Netflix. So get excited for that. Watch along with us, not literally, but watch the show as well and join us. And we'll be talking all about Terry. I know Walt has lots of takes about that particular show. So.
I just hope I remember them in 2 weeks. They don't live rent free, and the
You can
rent
also
is
just say
due.
Hulk Hogan's full of shit, and that'll probably cover, half of the takes you would deploy and
Uh,
more specifically if you want to. So
Spoiler alert: he is full of shit, and he's no longer with us. So
this is true. He's dead, he's a liar, and we'll break down all of his lies in a few weeks. But for now, if you want more Awesome Truth, you can find our archives at awesometruth.libsyn.com. For episodes old and new, subscribe to us on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, wherever podcasts are delivered. We are there. Walt, great to talk about Terry with you. Get ready, gird your loins. More Terry coming in 2 weeks.
can't wait to girt
Yeah, gird,
my
gird,
loins.
gird them up. Yeah,
What did you
please.
say? Girt your loins.
Gird your
Great.
loins.
Yeah, I'm girding them so hard for 2 straight weeks.
Thank you all so much for listening. And remember, the truth will set you free.